Okay, so if you're hardworking, if you have the dreams, and the ambitions and the aspirations of what I believe you do, you're in my plan. Got it? Okay, what does that even mean?
Ladies and gentlemen, Kamala Harris recently did a sit-down interview on MSNBC, and, well, spoiler alert, it wasn't good. Kamala Harris is not a great speaker. She should not be doing interviews, which is why she hasn't really been doing too much. Even in these softball interviews, they are not great. I think Megyn Kelly agrees, but we shall see right now. Let's see what she has to say.
Definitely went up in quality when it comes to the person asking the questions, though I've got a lot of criticism for Stephanie Ruhle. I do not put her in the same category as those ABC moderators or really even Dana Bash. She did ask some challenging questions. That's basically what I'm saying. But no follow-ups and none of the flip-flops of Kamala Harris's positions. Like, all of this stuff is just left floating in the ether as though it's never happened. It's just incredibly frustrating to watch.
I mean, yeah, that's one of the issues, that there are no hard-hitting questions. Even during the debate, Donald Trump got fact-checked over everything he said, and he always gets fact-checked over everything he said, but Kamala Harris never gets fact-checked on anything, never gets challenged on anything, and there's a lot to challenge her about. But what it does is it gives the regular people or all the lefty followers out there this impression that, well, Kamala Harris just never lies or she never flip-flops, like flip-flops. But no, I guarantee you she does. I guarantee you she does. There is evidence of it. But yeah.
But I'm grading on a curve here because when everyone fails the test, someone's got to be given a D+, I guess. Look, the real story is Kamala Harris and how she answered the question. She was terrible. She was absolutely awful. I actually don't really understand why she can't do the memorization trick that she did for the debate for these interviews. Now, she knows she's going to sit for this interview with a woman who has a business news background. She's just, done an economic speech. Why wouldn't you get your little note card team together and come up with a few, actual answers on your economic plan, on its weaknesses that you might get asked about? I don't get it. Unless this is that version, and those people aren't very good if they're not writing mean note cards about Trump. That might explain it, actually. Okay.
Well, also, just Kamala Harris has no plan. There is no original idea. She's not a politician that really has a plan or a vision for the country. She's just a placeholder for the people. She's like an avatar, pretty much, for the people really running the country right now, and that's the issue. That's why there's no substance in any of her answers.
There's a lot to go to. I have the transcript here. It started off with what I think may have been her worst answer. I actually think I was driving in my car last night listening to SiriusXM when this was rolling. And thank God for SiriusXM and the fact that you can get news live on SiriusXM, as a lot of you are doing right now.
Got a shill for SiriusXM. See the logo in the corner right there? I got a shill for my company.
But in any event, I've heard this whole interview, and in particular the one where she responded to red tape. How are we going to get rid of government red tape? We'll get to that. But let's kick it off with what was probably the second worst answer of the entire thing, and it was on question number 1. The question, you'll hear it here, was, okay, you laid out your economic vision, but a lot of Americans don't see themselves in your plans. What do you say to them? To Americans who don't see themselves in your plan. Her plans are so myopic. We talked about that one day. I was like, basically, if you have diabetes, she's got you in mind for something. Yay. And now, since then, she's talked about her economic plan covering first-time home buyers, people who are in the first year of having a baby, and people who want to start a small business. All right. The vast, vast majority of Americans do not fall into one of those 3 categories. I believe that is what Stephanie Ruhle was trying to get at. What are you going to do about the millions, the hundreds of millions of Americans who are suffering thanks to your policies, and your 3 little proposals don't cover any of them? Would you listen to the nonsense, the repetitive nonsense. And if you've got, a vodka soda with a splash of lime right now, I challenge you to drink every time you hear hardworking, dreams, ambitions, or aspirations. Roll it.
Makes me wish I had a beer or something right now so I can play along. But yeah, let's see what Kamala has to say.
Madam Vice President, you just laid out your economic vision for the future. Still, there are lots of Americans who don't see themselves in your plans. For those who say these
teeing up that softball, teeing it up easily, carefully.
Well, if you are hardworking, if you have the dreams and the ambitions and the aspirations of,
if you're happy and you know it, and just clap your hands.
What I believe you do, you're in my plan. I have to tell you.
Well, look, if you work hard, you are in my plan. Well, how? Oh.
I really love and am so energized by what I know to be the spirit and character of the American people. We have ambition.
Oh my God.
We have aspirations. We have dreams.
Yeah.
We can see what's possible. We have an incredible work ethic. But not everyone has the access to the opportunities that allow them to achieve those things. But we don't lack for those things. But not everyone, gets handed stuff on a silver platter. And so my vision for the economy, I call it an opportunity economy, is about making sure that all Americans, wherever they start, wherever they are, have the ability to actually achieve those dreams and those ambitions.
Before making Kelly, I just want to put in my input. Kamala Harris is she's the Olive Garden of politicians. She loves serving up those word salads. That was a whole lot of nothing. Basically, it's the beauty pageant answers of politician answers. Serving her like, well, how about the rest of Americans? Well, everyone wants, if they work hard, they're part of my plan, and everyone wants opportunities, and we are going to have opportunities, and just get to the next question, please. Nothing of substance there, just a big word salad.
I'm hammered if I'm drinking at home at this point. Okay, so if you're hardworking, if you have the dreams and the ambitions and the aspirations of what I believe you do, you're in my plan. Got it? Okay. What does that even mean? I have to tell you, all the filler,
if you're happy and you know it, you're in my plan, and clap your hands.
Love and am so energized by what I know to be the spirit and character of the American people. You've said nothing. You are wasting time with filler. Just the little duck's legs underneath the lake. Going and going and going and going and going and going. Nothing's happening, though. Nothing. Energized, love, what I know to be, spirit, character, American people. We have ambition. We have aspirations. We have dreams. We can see what's possible. You could see the edit.
Kamala Harris fans, what do you guys think about this? Do you agree with Megyn Kelly here? Leave a comment down below. Subscribe if you're liking my videos so far. Let's get back to it.
Of her, we can be unburdened by what has been. You can see she's been told, don't stop, just stop saying that. You can see the self-edit. We can see what's possible. We have an incredible work ethic. Okay, you already said that. If you're hardworking, you have dreams, ambitions, and aspirations, you're in my plan. I love and am so energized by what I know to be the spirit and character of the American people. We have ambitions, we have aspirations and dreams, and we have an incredible work ethic. We can see what's possible. So far, we've done nothing. All right, is everybody with me on what she's doing here? But not everyone has the access to the opportunities. Again, the question was, for the people who don't see themselves in your plans, what do you say to them? Not everyone has access to the opportunities that allow them to achieve those things. Achieve what things? Ambition, dreams, and aspirations? What things? You haven't laid any of the things out.
Yeah, Kamala Harris is that one student in class who did no preparation for the report at all. So they just go up there and it's just nothing but filler because they really didn't read the material. They didn't know anything about the material. They were lazy. They wanted to stay up and play video games all afternoon. And then they're like, oh, crap, I forgot to do the report. I'm just going to wing it. That's Kamala Harris. She's just winging it. If you like that, then that's the candidate for you. Vote Kamala Harris 2024.
Not everyone gets handed stuff on a silver platter. You mean dreams, ambitions, and aspirations? What? So my vision for the economy, I call it an opportunity economy. I love how she's like, this is my phrase, this is my thing. An opportunity equality. I mean, the true thing that she's running on is equity. If you really read her plan, she's going back to, we don't all start in the same place, but we absolutely have to finish in the same place. Doesn't matter how hard you work. It doesn't matter your level of education. It doesn't matter how well adjusted you are or aren't. You must end in the same place in Kamala Harris's worldview. That's equity. She's on camera saying it more times than I can count.
And how is that an opportunity economy? If there's like a ceiling, like if everyone has to end up in the same place, I mean, yeah, I guess it's an opportunity for the people that you feel are being held back here, which you're pretty much only going by gender and skin color or sexuality in some cases. Yeah, it's an opportunity for them, but what about the people who just want to work hard and be something in this country? How is that an opportunity for them?
I didn't say that here. Okay, my vision is making sure all Americans, wherever they start, wherever they are, here we go again, have the ability to actually achieve those dreams and those ambitions. You can feel the cringing of her staff, can't you, at this point? You know they're back like, oh, stop saying that. We're on no card number 2 now. Which include, now she's getting to what the dreams and ambitions actually include. Which include, for middle-class families, here we go, what? Just being able to know that their hard work allows them to get ahead, right? Right? I hate how she says right after all of her sentences. Right? You know? Right? Like she said something truly profound, and now we're bonding over what a soothsayer she is, how she really sees the future for us all. Okay, so she's going to make sure we have the ability to actually achieve our dreams and our ambitions, which include being able to know that our hard work allows us to get ahead. That's what she's going to do as president. That's amazing. I love that she's going to do that for me. What other thought in my mind about how the future could be, just general thought about how I'd like to be? I'd like to be a kinder person. I would like to be more observant in my faith. Can she help me with that? Maybe she'll work on those opportunities for me to actually achieve my dreams and ambitions and my aspirations. And then she finishes it off with, we didn't play this, but I come from the middle class. My mother raised my sister and me. She worked hard. No one gives a shit about your mother. They care about themselves. Stop talking about your mother. Start talking about the people who are actually suffering.
Yeah, it's just like, that's just filler, like to make these politicians seem more relatable. It makes her relatable. See, she understands my plight because she also came from the middle class in probably a much better economy. But, that's what they do. That's why Joe Biden's always going on and on about, corn pop and the hairs on his legs and, the oil spill in his windshield and how, his dad was like, let the gays love each other and all these other anecdotes that he always tells, and about how his son, passed away in an accident, or I forgot what he said. But that's why he always tells these anecdotes, because it's a trick to make you more like, relatable. Like, oh, see, he's like me. Look at him. And he's just same experiences like I've, had. And, but no, I don't think it's working in her case, because, again, she offers nothing of substance. She hasn't followed it up with what she's actually going to do to help with the middle class. She says a whole lot of nothing. And I'm not sure if the people are falling for it.
Okay, so the only thing she said in the whole answer, and this was at the very end, was my vision for the economy is let's deal with some of the everyday challenges that people face and address them with common sense solutions. And then we got these 4 words, such as, yes, what? Affordable housing. Okay, affordable housing. She's gonna solve that. We're not sure how, but She's mentioned a $25,000 tax break for first-time home buyers only. So if you've already owned a home, you're effed. If you're struggling to pay your mortgage, but it happens to be your second home, you're effed. That's
more pandering to people, because a lot of people are having a hard time affording homes, like wanting to buy homes. A lot of people are just renting, and so I'm all for trying to help the people buy homes. Especially I don't want these big corporations just to buy them all up, but offering $25,000 loan from the government is not the answer. It's going to make people more broke in the long run, because again, it's taxpayers that are paying for it. The Democrats just always want to offer handouts. They don't do anything like offer any sort of tax breaks or anything. That's really what's going to help out the people, is like tax breaks. But they don't want to do that. They just want to offer free stuff that's not really free. You're paying for it. You're just not directly paying for it. All you first-time home owners, if this happens, like if she wins and they implement this, you're indirectly paying for it.
That's it. And then she wants to somehow create more houses. We don't know how. We'll get to that later. Okay. Then, instead of Stephanie Ruhle saying, "You did not answer any of my question. You said a bunch of nonsense and did not get substantive." What specifically are you going to do outside of the 3 myopic, tiny proposals you keep mentioning? No, that wasn't the follow-up. The follow-up was, ready? Over the last 4 years, there have been tremendous economic wins. And you have just laid out a big plan. What? What? What are the tremendous economic wins? Was it the trillions in spending that we could not afford that drove us up to double-digit inflation? Was it the Inflation Reduction Act, which President Joe Biden has admitted was falsely named and was really a climate bill, which we all knew at the time? And like, what? That's sycophantic commenting and questioning. It's not questioning at all. And then she pivots to, okay, this is fine, but still the polling shows most likely voters still think Trump is better to handle the economy. Why do you think that is?
Because he was better. He was already president, and he proved that he was better at handling the economy. The proof is in the pudding.
Okay. Then she comes out with, Trump left us the worst economy since the Great Depression. When you
geez.
Look at the employment numbers. To Stephanie Ruhle's credit, she says that was during COVID.
Wow.
She says she means unemployment was so high because we shut down the government and we shut down the country. Good for her. Then Harris responds with lies. Even before the pandemic, he lost manufacturing jobs. By most people's estimates, at least 200,000. What does that mean, most people? Kamala, her husband Doug, Tim Walz, Joe Biden? Because that's just not true. That's actually a knowable fact. Doesn't have to be an estimate. We actually can look it up. And we don't have to look very far because CNN, which is no fan of Donald Trump, actually fact-checked this itself, saying the loss in manufacturing jobs for Trump's entire presidency was 178,000 manufacturing jobs. But you've got to look at when those came, okay? Because manufacturing employment plummeted at the start of the pandemic, shedding 1.3 million jobs in April 2020 alone. The economy then immediately resumed adding manufacturing jobs, increasing each month from May to December during the pandemic, before a small loss in January 2021 when we were splitting over administrations. Okay, but those gains were not enough to make up for the losses of the pandemic in March and April. So what was lost, 178,000, was lost during the pandemic. And she is wrong when she says, because Kamala Harris, says, no, before the pandemic, Donald Trump lost those jobs. That's a lie.
Wow. I mean, how bad is it when even CNN fact checks you? The Democrats are lying when even like their own propagandists, if you will, like when Snopes fact checks the Democrats, that, oh wow, that's a really big lie there. And same thing when CNN is even fact checking you. That's pretty bad. But what do you guys think about that? Did you guys watch the Kamala Harris interview? What did you guys think about it? Did you think she did a good job? Do you think she's not serving up word salad like she's working at the Olive Garden? Do you think she answered them really well? Do you think Megyn Kelly's off base here? Or are you a Kellinator? Do you agree with Megyn Kelly here? Do you just not like Kamala Harris and you think it was a horrible interview? What do you guys think? Sound off in the comments below, and I'll see you guys later.